and welcome to Multiple Shenanigans.
With Jeanette Bird-Bradley and Lytisha Tunbridge.
We are a fortnightly.
You're a nightmare. A recurring nightmare.
In the fortnightly. It's a fortnightly humorous look at life through the eyes of two MSs. Flawless.
Flawless. Nobody would know. Nobody with pros. Pro to a T. So, Jeanette, how have you been?
Well, it's been a funny week.
Certainly has.
Yeah, well, it has for the whole world, but yeah, definitely. So I think I've got my own body has sent me a warning system about my recent unhealthy habits. So I had been making cakes quite a lot. I remember telling you that I was getting a spherical cake mold.
Yes, I was looking forward to seeing the images.
Well, I should get them ready to show you, but I haven't done. But I made two very large spherical cakes for Halloween. One in the shape of a ghost and one in the shape of a pumpkin, which was actually pumpkin cake inside.
Wow.
But then I proceeded to eat all of the cake with Alex, my husband. We've just had cake pretty much every day for 2 weeks.
Breakfast, lunch and dinner?
Yeah. Turns out that's not a thing you can do. Because I woke up Monday with my face really big and some kind of weird abscess. See, now I've got plaster here.
Oh.
So yeah.
So that's a pumpkin injury. Cake injury.
Yeah, I think it was basically my body just saying, what are you doing? And then I've stopped eating so much. I'm still having a little bit of sugar, but not having cake basically every day. And I've had really bad headaches.
Oh,
so I think
that's a complete nightmare when your body says too much cake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I feel like a bit of an idiot because clearly that's not a thing you can do. But I've kind of taken on this what happens in lockdown stays in lockdown attitude towards things like that.
Okay.
And it's no way to live, is it? It's just no way to live. My body says no.
Body says no. Oh, that's a shame. That is a shame. But you can freeze cake.
Yeah, I know.
But you can also eat cake. Well, if I'd made cake, which is highly unlikely, and if I had, and if it was edible, then I probably would have done the same thing. Except perhaps not this week, because I've had an opposite problem this week, because I've had a little bit of a pain in my body from thinking about eating seems to give me a bit of a pain in the neck or pain in the face, which is a bit weird because I think about eating quite a lot, so it's not good really. I bought lots of chocolate to see if that would help, but it didn't.
I think there's a common thread here about stuff that's bad for you is bad for you.
Who'd have thought?
Yeah,
Stuff that's bad for you is bad for you. They ought to coin that as a logo, you know.
Yeah, stuff that's bad for you is bad for you. But do you do any kind of like dietary things to try and
no
of MS, like to try and make things easier or better, or
apart from eat as much fruit and veg as possible? Not really, no.
Yeah.
Do you?
No. I kind of try and be quite healthy, apart from obviously now. But at one point I did try, I can't remember what the diet, there's a diet where you could have like gluten and dairy and pulses, because I'd read that was going to like make everything fine, and I did it for quite a while. I'm quite good at sticking to things if they're like I like a rule sometimes. I like a framework of how to behave. I respond quite well.
Yeah, likes a rule.
In so many other aspects of my life that is not true, but So I stuck to it pretty well. It made absolutely no difference to me. I continued. This was when I was having a lot of relapses, and I continued to have a lot of relapses. So I'm sure it works for some people, but it did not work for me. But
yeah, I tried the wheat-free one for a while, quite a while. That didn't make any difference to me either. And the avoiding nightshade and nightshade family, which is tomatoes and onions and
peppers. Is it peppers?
Potatoes, not potatoes. Anyway, that didn't work either. So I've just decided to just eat everything. But that's possibly not good either.
Trial and error, eh?
Trial and error. A bit like life, isn't it?
Yeah.
Trial and error.
But my problem is I don't seem to really learn. Like I say, I know that eating cake every single day for 2 weeks is not a good thing to do, but it takes half my face
to explode.
It genuinely looks like The Godfather or something. You can see it a little bit still, but it was out here.
Wow.
Idiot. I've got antibiotics for
it. So you had a round cake that made your face go round.
Oh, yes, it did. Spherical cake tin face.
No, not everybody during lockdown has suffered from that, but I bet there's more than one spherical cake tin. Oh, it's hard to say. Spherical cake tin face sufferer.
It's a new syndrome, spherical cake tin face syndrome. It's very hard to
Spherical cake tin face syndrome. It is very hard, isn't it?
And I think maybe the spherical face makes it harder to say. But, I'll set up a support group or something.
I think you should. Spherical cake tin face syndrome support group.
Yeah. I've been bragging about my cake tin to my mates. Like, you won't stop me now, I've got this. Ha ha. And yeah.
Can you make spherical other things? Non-cakey things?
I guess you could do bread, maybe.
You could make football bread.
That's got. I want to do that. I definitely want to do that.
Yeah, bread that looks like a football. Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
So we've had a face week.
Yeah.
Facing the week. Face week.
Odd.
Yeah. Yeah, because I'm not usually a face. Faces aren't usually an issue for me, if you see what I mean.
You knew then.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a trigeminal neuralgia symptom that I haven't had for months, and then I've had it a lot just lately. And
So explain what that is.
So for those of you that are not aware, trigeminal neuralgia is a pain that runs down the nerves in your face. I can't explain it very well. It's what you call very, very, very painful. And yeah, it's horrible. It's like an electric shocks running up and down the nerves from here to here. On me currently, anyway. But yeah, so it's not a lot of fun. And some people say if you keep warm, it's not so bad. But when I get hot, I get all wrong anyway. And some people have said not chewing, but you gotta eat.
You gotta eat.
Sorry, otherwise, you'd have lack of spherical cake tin face.
Yes.
And yeah, it's just hard. So painkillers don't seem to make a lot of difference.
Oh no.
But hey.
No, I've not had that before.
I don't put that on your list. It's not a good one.
No. I'll try to avoid that.
Yeah. I think I'll cross this one out when I can. I don't like this one.
No, it's not a fun one.
No, because there are some fun ones, aren't there?
Yeah. In fact, I think I might have had a bit more euphoria.
Hey, to counterbalance your spherical cake tin face syndrome, you've had a little bit of euphoria. Do you want to explain about euphoria?
Yeah, but I'm a bit ashamed. It's quite shameful because you end up laughing at stuff that's not actually very funny. It's kind of intense bursts of like elation at, for me, I would just laugh at things that aren't funny. And so I'm really ashamed of what I was laughing at, because it's so it's not the kind of humour that I'm proud of. So basically, I watched a YouTube clip, and it was somebody bending down doing something. And I said, oh, I'm a bit disappointed, because I'd hoped that was going to be one of the ones where somebody's trousers split. And then I found that really funny and laughed for ages. And Alex said, well, nobody's trousers did split. And I was like, yeah, but I'm just thinking about it. It's really funny. And then I did go on an internet search looking for compilations of trouser split clips, and just laughed and laughed. But then the next day, when the euphoria had kind of settled a little bit, wasn't that funny to me?
Yeah.
So you've got to really cherish those moments.
You have. And they are good ones. The euphoria moments are good ones. I definitely tick that box. Yeah.
It's lovely, isn't it? It's like a bit annoying to other people, though. I've found they're like, shut up, what's wrong with you? I'm like, somebody split their trousers. They crouched down and then they split their trousers.
Do you think maybe comedy clubs should employ people with MS to come and sit in the audience?
Yeah.
But only when they've got a little bit of euphoria coming. Because can you imagine that? A crowd full of MSers with euphoria at a comedy club. It'd be hilarious. You could just put the stage there. They wouldn't need the comedian.
How would you do it? It'd be like, when I've only ever seen this in films. This is probably not even a thing in real life. In films where they're trying for a baby, and somebody's wife, girlfriend will go send a message to their partner. It's time. Come on, and they have to race back to do the deed. So it would be like, it's your euphoria time. Quick, sign me up to a comedy club. And and that happens. I'm an optimum audience point.
Yeah.
I would have been like the best person to have in the audience the other night. If there was some trouser ripping going on, I would have been.
And if not, you might have been ripping somebody's trousers just to make it.
Yeah. Maybe that's my new act. Just go on stage. I found that it was, I feel so ashamed, because this is like the most childish thing ever. But weightlifters, when it happens when somebody's doing weightlifting, because the pressure, I am ashamed. I am deeply ashamed about that. I should definitely be searching for some more highbrow humour in my life, but nah.
It wasn't a fart joke.
No, it wasn't.
No. So it's a little bit up the ladder.
And I liked it. Oh, that just reminded me of Bobby Ball died, didn't he?
Oh, yeah.
That's my tribute to him. And that's wrong, isn't it?
The laughter bit. The laughter bit's
good.
Yeah.
And the spherical bit.
Yeah. You can make Bobby Ball not cake. Effigies.
Now that does kind of sound like something that would look good, because you could use like licorice laces as his hair.
Yeah, curly. It's curly.
You would need a structure below to make
braces. Yeah. Maybe you could have that. You got two, one on top of each other, one with the head and one with a round body with the braces on it, like a double decker. Although his head and his body would be the same size, but
yeah, but I think you're allowed to be a little bit abstract sometimes with these spherical cakes.
Yeah.
However, balance is a problem with that.
Yeah. Maybe he'd have to have it not quite spherical on the bottom one. He'd have to cut it off just a little bit to be. But you'd have a wobbly head.
It's quite difficult to keep, because obviously you just have to put two two together to make the sphere. Now I found if you put too much filling, they just slide off each other.
Brilliant. Oh, I'm just taking. Have you been dressing up for radio this week?
Yes.
What is our theme this week?
So Beige week.
It's Beige week. It's not just Beige week, it's Beige Saucepans week, but we'll come on to that later. So how is your beige?
Well, this is about as beige as I get. My trousers are quite beige.
They are definitely beige trousers. That counts, definitely. Yeah.
This is more cream.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But I tried.
You did.
No offense, Lytisha, but on the
yeah, I put my red score. I've got some beige gloves on, fingerless gloves, which are very handy indoors.
You had those for a long time because.
Yeah.
No, I didn't mean to say that like your gloves look shit. I meant it because you were looking for some fingerless gloves.
Oh.
I couldn't find any.
Some in the cupboard.
Oh, I didn't look in the cupboard.
Oh. Yeah, no, I've had them a while. They were a Christmas present, actually, from one of my friends. I did bring my beige cardigan with me. But if I put it on, then I'll pull my microphone off and you won't hear me.
That's not good.
No.
Yeah, that's.
But it's a proper cardi with pockets and everything. So like a beige thing should be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Functional.
Yeah.
You passed the beige test.
Yes.
I don't have any stories about the beige because it's just too beige, isn't it? It's like.
The most thing I can think of beige was I remember I was on holiday once with a friend and this couple walked past and they both had beige, long beige shorts on and like a beige vest and a beige jumper, and they were one of them was carrying a beige jacket. And I just looked at them, I looked at my friend and said, please don't let me ever buy beige trousers. Oh, you've got beige trousers. But yours are more creamy than beige. Yeah. But it was just seeing the beige with the beige with the beige and then a beige accessory.
It's like all the life.
Actually, I've just thought of another beige story. A friend of mine used to live next door to a man, and they noticed that every time he hung his washing out, it was beige. He had a beige sheet and a beige duvet cover and beige pillows. His shirts and his trousers were both beige. And so they took to calling him the Beige Man. and you know, when you go around there, you say, oh, how's the Beige Man? And, oh, he's doing all right. Yeah. And then what was worse is that person turned out to be kind of a nice person.
What, the Beige Man?
Beige Man turned out to be a nice man, which is good, but became kind of part of the circle of friends. So then we had to remember not to call him Beige Man because you can't. You just can't. But it was really hard not to, because before we got to know him, he was the Beige Man. So
yeah, that's awful when you kind of don't want to. There's a thing that stands between you and it's beige.
I have got a confession though, and I saw him last summer and I hadn't seen him for several years. And we were getting on fine and he wasn't wearing beige. I told him. I told him he was Beige Man.
Was he okay with that?
He was confused because he didn't think he had a lot of beige.
That's amazing. I've got no knowledge of this. Beige?
He really, really didn't. So I just sort of, oh, well, you know. He did. He had beige bedding and he had beige shirts and
to deny it.
It's just
a beige denier.
He was a beige denier.
That's some messed up business.
Yeah, beige deniers.
the beige happens. You can't deny the beige.
Some people just find it hard to accept, I think.
Yeah.
I mean,
he needs to go to Beige Anonymous.
yeah, but it's things you have to learn to live with, isn't it? I mean, we live with odd things happening to our bodies. They have odd colours in their wardrobe. And, you know, you've got to live with it.
I bet he went to sleep that night thinking...
On his beige sheet, laying his head on his beige pillowcase.
Oh! Fix up the pillow. Oh, I'm
Beige.
so beige.
What would it be? A beige revelation?
Beige revelation. No.
Beigeation. Beigeation? Yeah. Who knows? I have not seen him since.
He's like, that's it.
Might no longer be a friend of mine. Don't know. Anyway, yeah, that was my beige. Yeah.
Oh, crikey.
Yeah. So have you got a beige saucepan?
Well, the inside of the saucepans are beige.
Oh, wow. That's impressive. Yeah.
Outside are red. Best of both worlds.
That is the best of both worlds. I've brought along today a beige bottomed red saucepan, but it's red on the inside. You're gobsmacked, aren't you? Well, it was my mum's saucepan. It's like a soup saucepan. I don't use it, but I like it, so I've kept it. It's red, like red. I like red, but it has got a beige bottom.
Well, ours are like some kind of what's the famous cast iron saucepans?
Cruise.
Yeah, Le Creuset. Yeah. Ours are like knockoff versions of them, and they actually came with the flat. So when we bought our flat, we didn't have much stuff because we were living on a boat, and so they said, they were renting the flat out before, so they said, do you want all the stuff for just a little bit more money? So we said, yeah, we haven't got anything really. So these saucepans came with it, and I've got to say they're pretty good. Saucepans
came with the flat. That's quite impressive.
We've been here like 13 years now, and they're going strong.
That is definitely a good thing. So you lived on a boat before?
Yeah, for 4 years. Yeah, 4 years.
A narrowboat?
A narrowboat, yeah.
Cool.
Tinker's Lean, it was called. There are 2 Tinker's Leans in Nottingham, apparently.
Oh.
Like a council boat. That's the thing. But
okay.
I hear ours was the original.
Kings of Lean. And were you moored in Nottingham then?
Yeah, Castle Marina. Luckily, we moved off just at the point of MS coming into my life. That might have been difficult.
Yeah.
Because there's numerous reasons why being on a boat would be difficult.
Balance.
Into it a bit. And it's hard work living on a boat. And I would use fatigue as the excuse, but I'm also quite lazy.
It's fatigue.
It's all fatigue.
Yeah.
We're guilty of not really going very far in our boat. Yeah, we'd go to like the River Festival and down to other places that I can't remember.
Places not very far away.
Yeah, like is it Stenson?
Could be.
Derbyshire way. Went that far, but we didn't go that far.
Such is life during a pandemic.
You just don't know what's gonna happen.
Yeah, I don't know what's gonna happen.
Okay. Saucepans. Where did we get? Did we get anywhere else with saucepans? Have we?
I think I'm saucepaned out. If you have any more, do you have any saucepan anecdotes?
Well, I do have a tendency to put things on the hob.
Forget.
That's a semi-danger of having memory problems.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
In fact, that nearly happened with my spherical cake. I went to test if it was done at the time that it should have been done. And it was really not done. So I thought I'll put it back for 5 minutes, put it back. About 15 to 20 minutes later, I remembered. But luckily, it was on the brick. It was just okay. A little bit drier than it should have been, but I caught it just in time. I think it was so underdone before. But yeah, so oh no.
The thing I use most in my kitchen is my timer.
I know that's I've lost my mobile phone. That's the problem.
I use the microwave timer for everything. Even when I'm cooking in the oven or on top of the saucepan things, I still put the timer on the microwave.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
And also finding my phone would be a good idea. It's somewhere in the flat. I know it is.
Because you've not been out?
It rang and then it died.
Oh.
Yeah.
That'll be there. Anyway, I think we're coming to the end of our episode.
We are. We've done saucepans. We've
done
beige.
And we've done beige. So that's it for this week from Multiple Shenanigans. Thank you from Lytisha and
thank you from Jeanette.
See you soon.
Bye.